Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If your visitor visa is refused for Canada or if you are planning to apply for visitor visa, then watch this video till end. So today's video is very interesting and very special. I will be sharing a lot of information about visitor visa refusal reasons and what you can do to avoid those refusals. So please do subscribe to my channel because on this channel I always share most recent news about Canadian immigration. So if you like this video, please share with your friends and do subscribe to my channel. Let's start with today's topic, reason for visitor visa refusal. It is very common that if someone applied for visitor visa and got refused, we will discuss what are common reasons for rejection and how to avoid these rejections and how to get visitor visa on very first attempt. My previous videos were much appreciated by you guys, that how to apply visitor visa and how to apply super visa for your parents. This was a common question. What reasons lead to rejection of your visitor visa? Before we discuss rejection reasons, always remember that in case of Canada visitor visa, we are not going in front of visa officer personally. We just submit our application on online portal. So submitting right information in your file is very important, as visa officer will take decision based on provided information on your application. This is where most of the people make mistake, because visa officer has very limited information which is provided on application. So there are very high chances that if you don't provide right information, your file can be rejected. So without wasting our time, let's discuss what are the most common reasons for refusal of visitor visa. Here I want to mention that there can be many reasons for refusal, but in this video we will cover only the most common reason for refusal. So first reason, which is very common and most of the time is given by visa officer for rejecting your visitor visa file, lacking strong ties to back home country, which means whichever country you belong to. For example, India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Nepal, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, etc. You have weak ties to your home country. If your roots to back home are weak, you will get most probably a refusal. So you will get similar reasons for refusal as given here, that I am not satisfied that you will leave Canada at the end of your stay as a temporary resident as stipulated in paragraph 179B of the IRPR based on your country of residence. So here it is very important to note that it is based on your country of residence. So here, if you get similar reason for refusal or you are applying for a fresh application, then we need to know how to tackle this refusal reasons. There could be many reasons for your weak ties to back home. So one of them, that if you don't have a good job offer. So in this case, visa officer may think that applicant doesn't have a good job back home, so applicant can stay in Canada beyond its visa expiry. Second reason for your weak ties to back home could be if you don't have kids, parents, grandparents, which can lead to your weaker ties to back home as well. If you have a business which is well established and operational, then visa officer may think that you will come back to take care of your business after your visit to Canada. If you don't have property or any asset on your name, then visa officer may think that you can stay in Canada beyond your visitor visa expiry. So always remember that if you have any property or any asset on your name, you should provide those details in your application. If you don't have these things in your application, then your ties to back home are weaker. So if visa officer is doubtful about your back home ties, then there are high chances that you will get rejection. This is one of the most common and most important reason for your acceptance or rejection. So always try to provide all these details, whatever applicable to you when you apply for visitor visa for Canada. Let's move to second reason, strong family ties in Canada. This is exactly opposite to first reason we just discussed, which means that many person from your family are in Canada, which shows your strong ties to Canada and weak ties to back home. So you have weak ties to back home and strong ties to Canada if your all siblings, your brother, sister are in Canada, your parents are in Canada, all your kids are in Canada, or you can say that your extended family in Canada, your cousins are in Canada. So these are the reasons that you have strong ties to Canada. So visa officer most probably will reject your file and give you a reason that I am not satisfied that you will leave Canada at the end of your stay as a temporary resident as stipulated in paragraph 179B of the IRPR based on your family ties in Canada. Note here that this line based on your family ties in Canada. So visa officer thinks that this person has very strong ties to Canada as his or her whole family is in Canada. Why would he will return to back home country? So this could also lead to rejection of your visitor visa for Canada. So let's move to third point, which is very important, travel history. So let's take one scenario here. Scenario 1. If the applicant never traveled outside of your home country or his home country, the visa officer thinks that he never traveled throughout his entire life. Why he wants to travel now? Which could lead to rejection again. So you will get again same paragraph, but the end line will change here. So you will get a similar reason that I'm not satisfied that you will leave Canada at the end of your stay, and the last line here will change based on your travel history. Let's take second scenario. If someone traveled as a tourist to different countries like UK, Singapore, Malaysia, USA, then the visa officer thinks as he traveled to different countries in past, he will return back to home country after his or her stay as a tourist to these countries. So there are more chances that your visitor visa for Canada will be accepted and you can come to Canada. Let's move to next reason, purpose of visit, which means that why you want to come to Canada. So let's take here scenario 1 that you are planning to come to Canada without any particular reason. Then there are high chances of rejection. And visa officer provide you a reason of rejection that I'm not satisfied that you will leave Canada based on your purpose of visit. So the last line will change here, everything else will stay same. So let's take second scenario here that you are coming to Canada to meet your family, your friend, means that you are coming to Canada for a special occasion like wedding or marriage ceremony, wedding anniversary, housewarming party, um, a caretaker. If you want to come to Canada to help a pregnant lady or someone is sick, any other home care reason that you want to help someone. Other reasons could be engagement ceremony, business trip, you want to come as a tourist, then you need to provide all these detailed information. Let's say if it's someone's birthday party, then attach invitation letter. If it's someone's wedding, provide wedding invitation card. So if you provide all these detailed information, then there are high chances that your visitor visa will be approved. In short, you need to provide in detail why you want to come to Canada, means that your purpose of visit to Canada. So if you don't provide it, there are high chances that your visa will be rejected. Fifth point, financial status. This point is very important and refusal is given commonly based on this reason. If you don't provide required financial documents, then visa officer may refuse your application. So you get a similar reason that I'm not satisfied that you will leave Canada at the end of your stay. And the last line will change here because of your personal assets and financial status. Because you need to prove that you are financially strong and has enough funds to sponsor your trip to Canada. To prove that you have enough money to finance your trip to Canada, you need to provide following documents. First of all, provide income tax return statements of previous 2 to 3 years that I am earning this much amount and this much tax I did pay in past. Second, here show bank statement of previous 6 months which provide information where this money is coming from. Do not deposit money at once just to show visa officer, because visa officers are very smart people. Do not provide them fake information. If you do provide, make sure that you cover everything. Next point is provide your pay slips. If you have other assets like property, mutual funds, etc., which has market value, you can provide as a proof of funds. If you are retired, show pension proofs, retirement certificate indicating your pension. In short, you need to show that you have enough funds to pay your ticket, your travel to Canada, or you want to explore Canada as a tourist. Make sure that you have enough funds, so you need to provide proof for those things. Let's move to next point, employment status. In previous section we discussed that you need to have enough money to sponsor your visit to Canada. It is also very important to provide where this money is coming from, so you need to provide your source of income. For that, you provide your stable employment or job details. Provide from how long you are working. You should also get leave of absence certificate or NOC to submit along your application. This will make your application further stronger, as visa officer will think this person is taking days off from his stable job. Once his trip is over in Canada, he will return back to his home country. So you need to prepare your application as per visa officer's point of view. If you are self-employed, you have a shop or store, provide relevant documents with your application. If you own agricultural land, your profession is farming, then provide relevant documents along your application. If you are a farmer from India, then you can provide J form. You can provide J form original along with translated in English as well. But if you are unemployed or you are not working, there are high chances that your file will be rejected and visa officer will give you a similar reason that I'm not satisfied that you will leave Canada at the end of your stay. And the last line will change that based on your current employment situation. Seventh point is length of proposed stay. On visitor visa, someone can stay maximum of 6 months inside Canada. People sometimes state in their application that they plan to stay 6 months, which is the max stay under visitor visa, which makes visa officers suspicious, which can lead to rejection as well. For example, let's say your reason for visit to Canada is to attend a marriage ceremony or a birthday party or a business trip. You guys know that marriage ceremony doesn't last for 6 months. So you need to provide length of stay which meets your purpose of visit. If you are going to attend a marriage ceremony, provide a length of stay no more than 2 months. So whenever you want to visit Canada for a specific reason, provide relevant proposed stay so that there are high chances for acceptance. Let's move to next point, host documentation. Host is the person who is inviting applicant to Canada. So you need to provide host documents and details as well. If hosts do not provide sufficient documentation, then visa officer can deny your application as well. The most important document host needs to provide, first of all, invitation letter. A poor invitation letter can lead to refusal. This is one of the major reasons that many applications got refused because of poor invitation letter. If you have an invitation letter which is drafted very well, then there are high chances of approval. Hosts need to provide following documents. First of all, proof of funds. For example, notice of assessment, bank statement, etc. Host also needs to provide immigration status, for example, his status in Canada, PR card, citizenship, or work permit or student permit. Whatever status host has inside Canada, he or she needs to provide relevant document. Ninth point is applicant's age and marital status. Let's say a person's age is less than 25 or between 18 to 25. He or she is unmarried as well. On the top of that, he has relatives in Canada. If you want to make it worse, he is unemployed as well. He is not full-time student. So based on above details, visa officer will reject your application because visa officer will think that you are young. He will work in Canada and applicant can find someone to get married. Eventually, he can settle inside Canada. So in this situation, you will not get Canada visitor visa. Misrepresentation. Do not do this mistake. Provide all required details and documents as per instructions. Sometimes it happens that you withhold some information. In other words, you hide some information, then this could lead to refusal as well. For example, let's say you applied for visitor visa for USA or Canada in past and your visa was denied or refused. Now after few years you want to apply for Canada's visitor visa. While filling out the forms, you mentioned that your visitor visa for USA or Canada was never rejected because USA and Canada share immigration information. So visa officer will come to know that you withheld some information. So this is a clear case of misrepresentation. Without any second thought, your visitor visa for Canada will be rejected second time. Second point under misrepresentation, that if you have submitted documents which do not appear authentic, means like you have submitted some wrong documents or you are providing falsified or wrong information to visa officer. For example, fake job letter, fake experience. If visa officer finds these things, you can get 5 years of ban and fine as well. So in future you will not be able to come to Canada as well. So these were the 10 most common reasons for rejection which we have discussed throughout this video. In the end of the video, I want to discuss other reasons as well which can lead to rejection for your application. So first of all is that if you have any previous history of overstaying in Canada. Second is if you have any illegal status in your country of residence. The third is failure to meet health standard as per Canadian government. And the fourth reason is forms that are not filled properly. If there is wrong information or if there are some missing information, this could also lead to rejection. If you have done any human right violation, then your file can be rejected as well. So these were the most common reasons that can be given by the visa officer for rejection. Again, I want to say that there can be many reasons for rejection, but we discussed most common, that there are high chances that you get visitor visa for your parents, for your family members on the very first attempt. If you guys have any question about this video or if you want to apply for visitor visa or super visa, you can visit to my channel on YouTube. You will get detailed videos how to apply visitor visa or super visa, how to prepare invitation letters for both of them. So if you have any comment, you can leave a comment in comment box. I will definitely reply. So once again, please do subscribe to my channel so that you guys don't miss any future updates. Thank you very much.